Larry Ellison. Introduction. Born on August 17, 1944. Full name is Lawrence Joseph Ellison. He is CEO and co-founder of the Oracle Corporation. Lives in Woodside, California in a house modeled after ancient Japanese architecture with a man-made 2.3-acre lake. His house is reinforced against earthquakes with the most advanced technology. His dropout years were not a complete waste of time. During his last months attending university, Ellison has discovered the world of computer designing. He would go on to teach himself the knowledge of computer programming, where he became very attracted to the idea of creating programs. At the age of 20, he began to create programs in his permanent home of North Carolina. He had worked in multiple corporations as a computer programmer. To have a successful corporation, such as Oracle, you must have one of the grades for your chief executive officer. Ellison is a perfect example of a great CEO. He represents a perfect leader for the company. He not only needed to create the database of the future, but he also had to use his persuasiveness to convince the world that these relational databases were the way of the future, in which he succeeded. He is without a doubt a lion in the business world, and he should be recognized for it. He not only has extreme leading skills for his corporation, he also has outstanding fame and reputation. He represents Oracle within the corporation and outside it to the media. It is almost like a sixth sense for a CEO to have such knowledge. To be a leader, a CEO that shows his creativity and skills in every category you would want to see in a CEO: leadership skills, management skills, his programming knowledge for future products, his ability to pursue and convince people to trust him when he says Oracle is the future. He is an icon and will forever be one. In 1996, Ellison began bouncing around jobs in North Carolina, where he worked with programming. He became the vice president of the Precision Instruments CEO in the late 1960s, but this wasn't satisfying enough for Ellison. In 1997, he was hired by a company called Ampex Corporation, where his ability would be put to test. He was to design a database for the CIA, and they decided to call it Oracle. He and a former boss, Robert Miner, had decided to open up software development labs where $2,000 of Ellison's own capital was put into the investment, where they would create their own corporation known as Oracle. Larry Ellison was a part of many families being married 4 times. As his programming career was growing, he met a wonderful woman named Ada Keene, who is married in 1967, and 7 years later went through a divorce, ending the marriage in 1974. As he worked on making his new database corporation succeed, he got married for the second time to Nancy Wheeler Jenkins, in which they would divorce only 1 year later. Just as his corporation was about to rise in success, he met and married his third wife, Barbara Boat. Meeting the wonderful woman brought two wonderful children to his life. His son David, who was born in 1983, and his daughter Margaret, otherwise known as Megan, born in 1986. The birth of his son is what brought on his third marriage, as Barbara wanted to be married after having the child. Lastly, he married Melanie Croft in December of 2003, where they would stay married until recently divorcing in 2010. Conclusion. Conclusion. If you do everything that everyone else does in business, you're going to lose. The only way to really ahead is to be different. I'm addicted to winning. The more you win, the more you want to win. The above quotes show the determination of Larry Ellison. It is this determination that has allowed Oracle to get past its many hurdles.